Hey y'all, my name is Susan and this is my butterfly gardening channel. I want to add a preface to this video that I do talk about tropical milkweed, and if you haven't been following me all along, just so you know, I am growing tropical milkweed in my garden room, and I'm keeping it in there under grow lights and using it exclusively to feed the caterpillars. It is not planted in my garden. It's just grown in there, so it's not going to be able to be invasive anywhere. And anyway, that's what I use it for, because it grows fast and it makes big leaves and it just works. Y'all, I just had the most fabulous inspiration. So I was reading about tropical milkweed and how easy it is to propagate just by putting it in water, that it'll root. And, you know, why am I using my root riot cubes for something that'll propagate easily in water? So I'm going to keep, you know, the ones that I have, but then save the rest of them for, I don't know, other plants that I'm going to try propagating. So out in the outdoor nursery, I had like this, this wire basket thing that I would put the floral tubes in to feed the caterpillars, but there's no need for that to be out there right now. So I moved it in. I'm going to set it up on one of my tables in here with the grow lights and propagate a bunch of milkweed cuttings. See, so this is the thing I'm talking about, and it's on that little wine rack thing, you know, those little wine rack things that I love and keep buying at thrift stores. So I'm gonna go set it up and I'll show you what I'm gonna do. Okay, so here we are. Look, I tucked it in there. Isn't it cute? My little wine rack, and then I can fill this with my little floral tubes and it'll get the grow lights. And that's going to be fabulous. I can put a ton of them in there. I'm so excited. All right, so I took them in the house and I just filled them with water. And I'm just going to fill the basket and then take a bunch of cuttings. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so much fun. I love stuff like this. Do y'all love stuff like this? Oh, you know what? Let me offset them so I'll be able to see them better. There we go. It's like a little scientist. All right, there you are, all set up. I'm gonna go get some cuttings and fill these guys up. Y'all, look what I did. I had so many fabulous milkweed leaves. I was like, I can't let these go to waste. So I put them in this container with my perpetual caterpillars who are still here. And I'm going to put one of the little lids on it so they'll get nice and toasty in there, because I think they're just not eating because they're cold. Keep them all snug and warm under the grow light, and maybe they'll be inspired to munch and then pupate and get to their 5th instar. I don't know. I'm going to keep an eye on them. We'll see what they do. Okay, y'all, look at how many potential milkweed plants that is. Oh my gosh. Caterpillar season next year is going to be so fabulous. I just have to keep all these guys healthy and alive for a few months, and I'm just going to keep it all in here where nobody can get to it and leave OE spores on it, and I'm just going to use it to feed the caterpillars. This is going to be so fabulous. So you guys, this big enclosure is pretty much shut down. There's a few overwintering chrysalides in there, but that's it. So the few guys I have left, I've moved into this nursery right here. Look, I've got a Monarch in there. I'll tell you about him in a minute. So the 3 caterpillars I just moved out in here were in this enclosure, and now all that's in here is one little golf fritillary, the one I found out in my garden, and this beautiful Monarch. So let me go show you the golf fritillary. See him right there? He's so cute. And this Monarch does not want to fly. It is perfection. Beautiful and perfect. I found it in my garden. It was just laying on the ground with its wings open. I thought it was cold, so I brought it in. And it just has no interest in flying, and it doesn't feed. Like, I literally have to encourage it. You can see it's got its proboscis out. Maybe it's feeding. Because I have this little tool that I made. Let me show you. I have this little tool that I made out of a twisty tie, and I can just use it to get it to uncurl its proboscis, and I help guide it into the flower so that it will eat. It's like it didn't know what to do. I don't know what's going on with it, but it's absolutely gorgeous. And it's safe in my enclosure, and I will take care of it as long as need be. Hey y'all, we are in my very tiny master bathroom. Tiniest master bathroom you can imagine, that's it. And in my tiny little window, and look who I have here. My little perpetual caterpillars. But it's working. Like, they've been eating. You can see there's been munching on the leaf. So, and they've been moving around, and their little bodies feel warmer. 4-week-old monarch caterpillars. I've never had them stay caterpillars this long. So we're trying the little caterpillars in an incubator in the sun in my bathroom window. We'll see what happens. And this one's inside too, snuggled in a pile of blankets. And, you know, just so you can see who's here with her is my Pooh Bear and Nady. And then over there in his little corner is Zach. Hey y'all, today I'm just going around and doing some trimming up of some things and listening to dogs bark and lawnmowers go. You know, all those fun things. Look, I got my little Christmas ring. Look, I got my Christmas earrings on. Anyway, I'm just doing a little cleaning up, you know, just trimming some things, like, you know how that plant will just have this one branch that takes off, and it's like, okay, it's super excited. Well, they're gonna just get trimmed back down. And yeah, sometimes I just like to walk around my garden with my little trimming scissors and, you know, just trim a little here and there, kind of clean things up. It also gives me a chance to look and kind of see up close what's going on everywhere. And my porterweed will get, like, after the purple has bloomed, it'll get these like long stringy dead sticks, and I like to just go in and trim them out. It kind of keeps it more green and fresh looking. It makes it look more like spring. See, like, back in my porterweed, there's like a lot of like little dead branches, and just by going in and trimming them out, it can make a difference in the overall look and make it look more spring than wintry. See, I'm pulling out some of the dead leaves that have just fallen. See, look how spoiled he is. I'm in here feeding him some honey water. I just do a little drip of honey in the little teaspoon and put some water in it. Trying to get him some energy so he'll want to do something. See him moving his wings a little bit. He's like, oh, okay. So I really cleaned out my porterweed. Trimmed it out, cleaned out around the base of it where there were some dead branches. You can still see I've missed some. I mean, isn't it funny how you're in one space working and you go back there and you're like, how'd I miss that? I trimmed all the tops back, and what's really cool about these guys is until like we get a freeze, they're really good at pushing out new growth. So they're not super pretty now, but they're a lot prettier than they were. But they will push out new growth and come back up again. So, and I also thinned them out, and now the sun can filter down into them more, and maybe they'll fill out more down lower also. And look at this pretty hibiscus flower. And this is our front corner, our ugly corner, where we kind of end up with stuff. It's right by the gate. The compost bin is over there. But my husband's got a fire bush growing out front. He's going to move it back here and put it right in that corner spot. So when that fills in, it'll be nice. And we've got these cigar plants that we're going to put in with it. And hummingbirds love them. So that will be a nice addition to this area here, which is right across from the porterweed. So this is a sad little Maypop passion vine. I actually bought it to feed the little Gulf fritillary caterpillar, so I cut off a lot of the green, and it's in the floral tube in the house, keeping the little Gulf fritillary caterpillar warm and well fed. But I'm gonna take what's left of it and pot it in this clay pot, and I'm gonna set it out in my garden and just let it do what it's gonna do for this time of year. So I put some of the mycorrhizae soil in. I love this stuff. So far, everything I've used this on has been thriving. And I'm just going to transfer it into here. Oh, and it's not just mycorrhizae, it's mycorrhizae potting mix. So y'all, I had some little salvia sages coming up all over the yard. And I love them, but I don't need them to be all over the yard. And so I have one section of my garden that I have a lot of it in. So I dug up all the little ones I found and moved them to that section. And a lot of them were tall and falling over. So I used some of our wood from our firewood pile to like stick under them so they would stand up. I'm going to show you what I mean. So I'm talking about this section right here that splits to go to the other end of the yard. And this is where all my zinnias resided when they were in their glory, and now they're all gone. But I have all these salvias, and they're like super happy. Look how gorgeous they are. Got some white ones over there. And I had little ones coming up all over the yard. So I dug a lot of them up and stuck them in here so they'll get all tall and full like this. And then these ones were so heavy, they were like laying down on the ground. So I stuck some pieces of wood up under them so they can lean on it and it keeps them upright. But yet wood is natural looking, so it doesn't like stand out as anything odd or unusual. And right now, yeah, it's still a little scrappy looking, but when it all grows in, it's going to be really pretty there. And the bees love those. So here's the after. There's a little fire bush. There's a little dog. And there's the cigar plant right next to it. That'll fill out and it'll be beautiful, covered with the little orange flowers right next to the fire bush. So come spring, that is going to really brighten up this section that was looking pretty scrappy. And then we planted the other fire bush right over here by the crepe myrtle, which is dormant right now, but it will be blooming in all of its glory next July. That sounds so far away.